Welcome to Kanpai News, where it's just me and Thaylien today. Because our first bit of news is that Xeno's not feeling well. He'll be back Thursday for the actual cast, though. So don't worry about that. We broke him. We overloaded his memory. Bricked his hard drive. He's fine. He'll be fine. Welcome to Kanpai News for the week commencing the 10th of March, 2024. I am your host, Nasuth. Thaylien, how are you?
I'm doing well. We're recording a little bit later than usual, and all to the good. We tried to keep Xeno with us, but unfortunately I have ripped out his hardware and he doesn't seem to be with us today. Yeah. But hey, we are in need of news, and news we shall provide.
Yes, we're dedicated to still bringing you the news, so let's get started. So this is our first story, is the one that everyone has probably already heard of, and it's Akira Toriyama. Everyone knows the poor man has passed away. Renowned manga creator Akira Toriyama, the mastermind behind the iconic Dragon Ball series, has passed away at the age of 68 due to acute subdural hematoma. Toriyama's groundbreaking work began with Dr. Stump in 1980, leading to the creation of Dragon Ball in 1984. This series not only spawned numerous manga and anime sequels, but also became a global phenomenon, making its protagonist, Goku, a household name worldwide. Toriyama also contributed his talent to the video game industry as a character designer for titles such as Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and Blue Dragon. His recent work included involvement in the Dragon Ball Daima anime series and the Sandland manga, which received both film and series adaptations. Both of the series is just about to start. A private funeral service was held by his family, who have requested privacy during this time. Subdural hematoma, like, jeez.
Yes. You're old when all your legends are dying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, that's. I do have a couple of other little bits. So this is Eiichiro Oda's response to it.
Eiichiro.
Eiichiro, yes. Eiichiro.
Yes.
It's too early. The hole is too big. The thought of never seeing you again fills me with sadness. I've admired you so much since I was a child, and I even remember the day when you called me by my name for the first time, which is a big thing in Japan. I also missed the day when I had a great time with Mr. Kishimoto on the way home from the day when you know what? I'll make sure these are linked in the description, and if you want to read them, there's another one from Yuji Horii, who is the person behind Dragon Quest and was also involved in Chrono Trigger, which is where that connection comes. But they're both, very heartfelt statements of grief, and I think everyone kind of shares that. All right.
Yeah, reading them was a little tough for me. I'm easy to get emotional about these kind of things, and I
don't think I could
seeing homages to the man.
Make it through them all the way, or do them the justice they deserve. So let's move on to a different kind of tragedy, I suppose.
Exactly. So, Overwatch 2 embraces space cowboy aesthetics with Cowboy Bebop collaboration. Blizzard Entertainment is merging the worlds of Overwatch 2 and the iconic 1998 anime Cowboy Bebop in a special collaboration starting March 12th. The announcement was made alongside an animated trailer that plays homage to Cowboy Bebop's opening, complete with its legendary theme song Tank by Yoko Kanno and the Seatbelts. Players can look forward to Cowboy Bebop-inspired skins, emotes, intros, and more during the event, featuring characters such as Spike Spiegel Cassidy and Faye Valentine Ash, a highlight as the free Ein Wrecking Ball skin for all players. Additionally, music from Cowboy Bebop will be featured in the game, bringing a piece of the anime's classic appeal to the Overwatch universe. And
now, I gotta say, I watched this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a travesty because it's got Overwatch characters in it, but I think in terms of capturing the feel, they actually did a better job than the Netflix live-action one.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, isn't it? And they have in fact sent out a screenshot of the skins in-game. Now, yeah. And I saw those, and yeah, they look like these characters actually would if in these ones. So it's the other character for playing Jed is Mauga, because he's big, he's bony, he's got the beard. And
they go through a lot of them in here at different points. I mean, they're not the actual skins; they're animated versions, but you can kind of
look at that. Mauga,
kind of see what they're going for.
So it's the only people that look like the Bebop characters, and it just sad because the personalities are so different.
Good. Where was the Ed? That's the other one.
But yes. So
I have no idea who that actually is.
That's Sombra in the game, and Sombra because the thing is with Overwatch, you have to keep the silhouettes of the characters the same.
Right, of course.
Otherwise, you get this thing about the hitboxes and the recognition of characters and the snap decision, all these things, because it's a competitive game.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Ed's version in this as Sombra doesn't look that good. It's just Sombra in Ed's clothes, basically.
So they captured it properly in the trailer, but that's definitely not how it looks in the game.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's move on, shall we? Piracy Crackdown! B9 Good anime site operators sentence in historic case. The operator and staff members of B9 Good, a major anime piracy site targeting Japanese audiences, which I believe we've covered in the past here when this case was heating up, have been found guilty by the People's Court of Taizhou in the Xinzhou province, I think, China.
The People's Court of Taizhou in Jiangsu province.
Okay.
Okay.
Changshu. Okay. I man, I don't know Japanese super well. I know Chinese even less. The main.
Yeah. I know the Shank from Frank Zhong in the Percy Jackson books.
Right. The main operator, referred to as Male A, received a 3-year suspended sentence and was fined 1.8 million yen, or about $250,000, with others receiving suspended sentences for copyright infringement. This marks a significant victory for the Japanese Content Overseas Distribution Association, or CODA, and other companies, as its first instance where the criminal charges led to the arrest and conviction of operators and uploaders of a pirated Chinese website. The site, which operated for 15 years under various names, generated over 1.7 million yen, or about $247,000 in illicit ad revenue, and had over 300 million visits, highlighting the extensive reach and impact of anime piracy. And I gotta say, places like Crunchyroll are not making it any better.
No, but seriously, if they can get that in illicit ad revenue, that's crazy. And I think they wouldn't have been caught up on it so much if they hadn't had the ads. If there weren't people paying them for the thing,
Imagine what Crunchyroll could just give away for free, making this kind of money on real, probably better money than this on real ads. But they gotta make all the money anyway.
Gonna be all the money.
Before we become fully anti-capitalist here.
Okay then, the end of an era. Sony Music Entertainment's VTuber Prism project winds down. Sony Music Entertainment announced the closure of its English-speaking VTuber initiative, the Prism project, set for March 31st. The project's 18 talents will transition to independent status on April 1st, maintaining rights to their names and personas. Despite the end, scheduled events and streams for March will proceed as planned, and merchandise orders placed by the closure date will be honoured. The decision came after discussions on the substantial resources needed to sustain and grow the brand, highlighting the project's significant journey since its launch in January 2021. Now, this one is actually kind of entertaining. No, I don't think VTubing is dying. I think that corporate VTubing is dying. And I think that's a good thing. I think when you just have sponsorship groups like VTuber and things where they get revenue, but they don't actually control the talent. They just have they're a source of ad revenue and things. And the talent are largely independent and can do their own thing, and it doesn't reflect at all on the
It's like Stream Elements giving me sponsorships for my streams, right? It doesn't in any way reflect on Stream Elements what I say or do during those streams.
Yes,
it's between me and the game company, essentially.
So what's really important here is that they're letting the talent keep their personas and appearances. The actual characters, because so many places will not, and they have to completely abandon all recognition they have and just rely on groundswell saying I was the person behind this, and hope they get to the same level again if they get let go from other places. So this is actually quite amicable. I'm kind of impressed at how nice Sony are being with it.
Maybe it's because it's the English speaking version, and so they don't care as much.
Yeah. That or English speaking ones, so there's a bit more, a bit less of the idle personification thing from the Japanese
that's possible
and
too.
Other things. So maybe they can't put the same things in the contracts that they do over there.
That's entirely possible. There you go. If you like any of these, I don't know any of these VTubers. There's a list here. Iku Hoshifuri, Aoi Tokimori, Meno Ibuki, Rita Kamishiro, Luto Araka, Shiki Miyoshino, Nia Suzune, Yura Rikudo, Pina Penguin. I like that.
Pina's nice. I like Pina.
Naki Kamizuki, Sara Nagare, Non Anon, Ami Amami. Some of these are great, honestly. Ko Tsubame, Jun Akane, Mako Shameshima, Nana Astera, and Emma Omiya. So if you know and like any of those, I go find keep supporting them as they go independent.
Indeed.
Right. This one. Unexpected Allies. Sephiroth stars in Donbei Noodles commercial. In an amusing collaboration, Final Fantasy VII and Nissan Foods have come together for a new Donbei instant noodles ad featuring iconic characters from the game. The advertisement portrays Cloud Strife and, surprisingly, Sephiroth, rather than a traditional female character, in roles tied to the noodles promotion. The twist has sparked discussions and excitement within the Final Fantasy community, blending the game's narrative with the whimsical world of instant noodles and marketing. This crossover is part of Nissan's ongoing commercial series, adding a flavorful twist to the enduring legacy of Final Fantasy VII. I'm sure I can actually play this, because it's only 30 seconds, and it's an advertisement. You won't be able to hear it on stream, and neither will Thaylien, unfortunately. I mean, I could make it, but I'm not gonna. But you'll get the idea very easily.
I know somebody who is going to go absolutely stark raving nuts for that initial opening right there. For that scene right there. It's going to be so much fun to watch their face.
It's just so goofy and I love it.
It is the 77777 heel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay.
Word. The advertisers have finally realized that sticking Tifa and Aerith on things don't always sell, and it's actually Sephiroth and Cloud that people are there for. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh,
that's
as we
glorious.
sit here and look at my YouTube recommendations, let's move on.
So yes, next up,
a little bit more sad news.
Yes. Warner Brothers' big mistake. Rooster Teeth shuts down after 21 years. So Warner Brothers Discovery has announced the shutdown of Rooster Teeth, a key player in digital media for over 2 decades, citing challenges in digital media driven by significant changes in consumer behavior and monetization strategies. Business jargon.
Yep, there you go. Got to make all the money, man.
Despite its shutdown, the future of Rooster Teeth's intellectual properties like Ruby and Genlock is still under consideration, with potential options for acquisitions being explored. The Rooster Podcast Network will continue to operate while Warner Bros. Discovery assesses external interest in the company's assets. Rooster Teeth, renowned for its original series such as Ruby, Red vs. Blue, and the animated series Genlock, has been a subsidiary of Warner Bros. Discovery since AT&T's acquisition of Time Warner, contributing content to the Max streaming service.
Can I just point out here that Warner Brothers Discovery is a terrible merger name. It's Warner Brothers and the Discovery Networks, and they merged and became Warner Brothers Discovery, and it just sounds awful.
It sounds like two dudes named with a surname Warner have just figured out that one of them is gay and the other isn't, but they live together.
Oh, it's the Warner Brothers Discovery. What horrible secret. That or their 4x4 off-road vehicle. But yeah, man, I can't believe it's been 21 years. I remember watching a back when Winamp, this is old man Nasuth time. Back when Winamp first introduced video cast streaming through their app, I remember watching 24-hour streams that were just on repeat. That one of them was Red versus Blue, I think it was the first 2 seasons, or at least the first season. And the other one was Monty Python's Flying Circus. Those were the 2 I watched the most. But it's been forever. Jeez.
It's funny because I didn't actually discover Rooster Teeth as a thing. I saw Red vs. Blue was a thing. I didn't watch it until Monty Ohm started animating for them.
Fair enough.
And yeah, my God, the first time we saw a proper Monty Ohm animation in Red vs. Blue, the fight with Tex, it was so good.
See, I have mixed feelings about that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So this is not a Red versus Blue episode. This is Anyway, as we come closer to the end, Nintendo's legal victory over the Yuzu emulator. The team behind the Yuzu emulator, a popular tool for running Nintendo Switch games on PC, has agreed to a significant settlement with Nintendo, ending their development efforts and compensating the gaming giant for $2.4 million US. This settlement also includes halting work on the Citra emulator for the Nintendo 3DS. This action follows a lawsuit by Nintendo accusing the Yuzu developers of facilitating piracy by undermining the Switch's security measures, especially highlighted by the early pirated distribution of The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. In addition to the financial settlement, the developers are required to remove all related code repositories, deactivate their Patreon and Discord channels, and take down their website. That's incredible. Did they actually make that much money through Patreon?
I don't know if they did or not, but they wouldn't have leveled that kind of, because to Nintendo that's absolutely nothing. To Nintendo that is no amount of money whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the settlement must have come to something that Yuzu could actually functionally manage to pay.
Yeah.
Maybe they had to take out loans or something against to top it off.
Well, I mean, the company could always go bankrupt if it was like an LLC or something. They could always just go bankrupt.
Exactly, go bankrupt. But it would have to be something they could conceivably pay rather than just say you have to pay $1 trillion and therefore you're going bankrupt. This is something that they could conceivably actually pay to Nintendo. So
on the one hand,
weird.
I get where Nintendo's coming from because emulators are a very tricky area. I think the older the system is, the less they should care whether it's emulated or not.
Yes,
but something that's still relatively new, like the Switch,
Yeah, because I like it when you have actual emulators, because otherwise you get things like when I tried to play the original Sonic Adventure games on PC through the Steam version that popped up. Couldn't play them at all. I discovered that you actually have to set your screen refresh down to 30 FPS, or it doesn't run.
God!
Because the movement is tied directly to the refresh, and I was wondering why the heck I was just zipping sideways, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm on 144 hertz, and that's apparently why it was.
There's a lot of ridiculous stuff like that in older games that are adapted. Yep.
Well, hey, we're Warframe players. Warframe used to have its beam weapons tied to the FPS.
Yep, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So, moving on. Let's go on to the next one. Demon Slayer hits the Big Apple. Stagecast to join Japan Parade. The cast of the stage play adaptation of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, will be making a special appearance at the Japan Parade in New York City on May 11th. This event marks a significant crossover of Japanese pop culture with American audiences, showcasing talent such as Shogo Sakamoto, Yugo Sato, Hiroshi Yazaki, Yoko Hatoyama, Kenta Hoshi, and Masahide Tada. The parade, which has its route from Central Park West at West 81st Street to West 67th Street, celebrates Japanese culture and is organized by the non-profit Japan Day. The Demon Slayer stage plays have been a popular adaptation of Koyoharu Gotoge's celebrated manga, which, with previous runs in Tokyo and Osaka, and have contributed to the manga's global recognition.
That's cool. I'm glad that the theater is still really strong in Japan.
Definitely. But you consider that the theater is still really strong for like Disney adaptations in America.
That's also true.
The Lion King musical is still one of the most watched plays on Broadway.
He makes a good point. Right. Shall we move on to our last story, which isn't really a story, but more of a roundup? It's time again for the exciting. It's an exciting week in anime for anime and manga fans with the new releases. So, this week's North American anime and manga releases feature a variety of titles for fans to enjoy. Anime releases include Insomniacs After School and Ruby Ice Queendom, speaking of Rooster Teeth earlier, on Blu-ray, with prices around $60 and $50 respectively. Manga enthusiasts can also look forward to titles like Ado, I think, and The Apothecary Diaries, priced at $14 and $13. Other notable releases include Black Clover Volume 34, My Hero Academia, and My Hero Academia Volume 37, offering something for every manga reader's taste. Oh my gosh, redo of a healer. I'm sure everyone is scrambling to get a hold of that one.
Worrying. Now, with regret, because we have lost power to the Xeno, we do not have any fact or rumor for this week's episode of the news. No. But be sure to check back in with us next time when we reinstall Xeno's GPU and we will hopefully get him back and running for that one. We'll see what we come up with.
Thank you everyone for joining. Make sure you stay tuned later this week for Kanpai Cast. Gosh, what did we do? My mind is drawing a blank.
We discussed the concept of anime did it first, where in the same joke where the Simpsons predicted the future, many anime and manga were done very well in Japan first, and then came to Hollywood as completely different films.
Yeah. Right.
It's a good topic to get through.
Yep. That'll do it for the news. See you all next week, everyone. Bye.